Hey, Katie, I'm so excited to hang out with you today and just share your amazing story. I know it's going to inspire so many people launching their businesses. But just to kick us off, tell us who you are, what you do, how long you've been in business, just so everyone can get to know you.
Sure. I'm Katie. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I started my business as an artist, and it has all changed in the past couple of years. Now I do branding for small businesses, and I specialize in e-commerce shops. So I do intentional design to help them meet their ideal clients.
That's awesome. And how long, so you were an artist first.
Yep.
How long were you in business kind of when we met? And then when did you transition your business and why?
Sure. So I think I was in business for about 3.5 years when I took the blueprint model. And this past year, at the beginning of the year, I completely closed my art shop and I started a new chapter in my business. I just had kind of been spinning my wheels and realizing that I needed to try something new or it was kind of game over for me.
Yeah.
And so after I completed the blueprint model, I slowly but surely transitioned to this new chapter, and it has just been so amazing. It's just so exciting to see things fall into place and all your hard work just start to kind of
Yeah.
come true for you, like your dreams come true.
Yeah. What do you feel like you were spinning your wheels with in the art business? Like what made you, had you been thinking about doing the branding and graphics? Had that been like a desire? What kind of
I
spurred on the transition?
I had some really big aha moments during the blueprint model. I had realized that I was spending 80% of my time doing my shop work and it was only bringing in 20% of my profit, and that my custom work was bringing in 80% of my profit. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to absolutely close this shop and start doing custom work all the time. And I realized, I feel comfortable charging X amount of money for people to hang this custom illustration on their wall, but I feel like I have so much more to offer with the knowledge that I've learned. And my background is in advertising. So I have a degree in advertising. And I was like, how can I marry my love for design and my education and really like bless other people in their business? And so that's where I came up with artful branding, which is now what I do for small businesses.
I love that so much because I think sometimes we get stuck in like, I am this, I am an artist, this is what I do. And I wanted you to come on and talk about kind of your pricing ahas and epiphanies. And one of those sounds like it was you realized you were in a situation having a product that really had a cap. I
Yeah.
felt that way too with like one-on-one coaching with hourly calls. It's like I could keep charging more, but you just start feeling uncomfortable for what, it puts a lot of pressure on what you're doing.
Exactly. And when you don't believe in the pricing you have, like I had priced these custom illustrations and they capped out. I was no longer being booked like I was at one point. And I was so tired. Like I had to turn these things over like crazy, and the math wasn't adding up for me. And now where I'm at, so I used to have clients, my client average was around $300, and now my clients pay me 3,500 plus, which
Yeah.
is huge for me. And this
Yeah.
year I got my first 5-figure client, which I just never thought was going to happen. So I'm so excited about where I'm at now, but also where I'm going and the potential that this new business has.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's wonderful to hear you talk about the fact that, sometimes I do believe we get kind of stuck and almost like we give up. But there's a time in our business, and I think you came to it, like you figured out how to keep it creative and artistic for you while also building a business model that actually will be profitable and works for you. And I think that's just incredible.
Yeah, I wanted to stay to my roots, which is why I call my process artful branding, because I really didn't want to lose that. And that's how I found a lot of my clients to begin with, is they really appreciate artful touches in their design work. And so I wanted to give them an opportunity to still work with me. And then now I've found so many more people that are looking for that in their design work. And it's kind of like this niche that I found that just brings me to wonderful people. So I'm super thankful.
So you've been doing the Artful branding for how long now?
So I started in January.
Okay.
But my first branding client I took on last year in the summer, and it was a pretty decent client in a really fancy mall that we have here. And so she kind of took a chance on me, but I realized after that, I was like, this is really an opportunity for me. I was able to book a trip to Paris after I booked that project, and I was like, that's it. I'm done with my art shop, and I want to do this now. So
Yeah.
that's really all it took for me to be able to take the leap is after finishing that product or that project and realizing this is really profitable and I can do this.
Yeah. Talk to me about like learning, you said that aha moment of the 80% of your work was only producing 20% of your income, something we talk about a lot in the Blueprint model, but also just understanding pricing and knowing that, okay, if I'm charging $300 plus for this custom illustration, but I can charge $3,500 plus, like, talk to me about understanding profitable pricing and what that looked like for you and how you knew, like, I need to add another product here. This custom illustration is just not going to provide the income I need.
Yeah, so when I was going through the Blueprint model, one of the exercises that we were doing is like, how many projects do you have to take on in a month? And I couldn't make it work with the custom illustrations. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to take on like 8 custom illustrations and I just cannot. Like, I was maybe taking on 2 at the most.
Yeah.
I'm like, this, it just doesn't add up. But now, with my clients, I need 1 or 2 clients and then some extra work, like just smaller projects. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how doable is that?
Yeah.
1 or 2 clients, I can easily book that, and I have consistently. And so, I guess when I was figuring out my profit, I had so many costs with the shop. So art supplies and my time on top of all that. And I had never taken a business course before the Blueprint model. So I had zero understanding of what that looked like. And then when I was doing the math to figure out what is really my profit here, it was not a lot.
Yeah.
And now with design, it's just my time, and I have such a better understanding of, every time I open my computer, I'm working these amount of hours and my time is worth X. And I can bill my clients and feel good about that because I really understand it.
Yeah. So moving from a $300 product to a $3,500 product, and you've done that really well and you've been booking, what do you feel like helped you when you started? I mean, you changed a huge price point and kind of moved into a different market. Talk to me about kind of the fears that you had, or how did you start talking about your price comfortably with such a, I mean, that's a 10 times jump or something crazy.
It was crazy. I feel like for me, it was like, it's this or it's nothing at all. And so I need to make a change and start feeling more comfortable about money in general. I feel like I'm more comfortable charging my clients at this new price point than I ever was at my custom illustrations, because I truly believe in what I'm doing, and I've heard from my clients how my services bless them. And so that's given me a ton of confidence when I'm talking to new clients, like, this is what I've done for other people, and I've seriously seen the results. And I know how much time I'm putting on into their projects. And so to me, it's just kind of a no-brainer. Like, this is what I could do for you, but I don't feel bad when that's too expensive for someone. And I always used to feel so bad when I was doing the illustrations because I wanted everyone to be able to have it. But now I'm like, this is definitely an investment, and you should be at a certain point in your business to implement this. And I can make you feel really confident when you decide to pull the trigger, because this is what I'm offering.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing with you was just watching you go and build the confidence in your price. Like, I remember that so much, and that's why I wanted to talk to you and have you share your story, because pricing is something, especially when we're creating this art and this beauty, it can feel like, oh, I don't know if I should charge them, or something that comes easily to you feels hard to charge for that. But like, you're just exuding so much confidence in your price because you understand why now. You
Yeah.
understand why it has to be that way. And have no doubt that your clients feel that confidence and gives them confidence in you.
Yeah, I think so. I think art will always have a special part in my life, but it was really hurting me as a business owner to have that be my sole income because I want everyone to have it. It's just so important to me. But I could not make it work as a business. And I think that's okay to realize, like maybe this can have a different part of my life, like, outside of work, but this shouldn't be what's paying the bills for me.
Yeah, gosh, I think there's so many people that need to hear that. Like, I believe that we need to have a hobby that's just for fun. We need to have a business model though, if we want to get paid to do what we love, that is profitable. And I think just sharing, I mean, you had to do 8 custom illustrations. That wasn't doable for your time. I mean, that's just so, so incredible. I always love to end these interviews with the question, what is the best thing that you've learned about money? And I would love for you to share that for you.
Yeah, so for me, I would say that money doesn't have to be a dirty thing and that I can bring in money and it can be a really happy idea. And it's been really freeing. I was just talking to my fiance about this, that like I can bring in money and there doesn't have to be a cap on that. So if something were to happen, I can, use my network and use just my talents and my computer and we would be okay. And so that is super important and such a freeing idea knowing that I've built that and done that.
Yeah, I think that's incredible. I mean, if anybody listening, I just think learning to price for profit, understanding if your products aren't giving you the income you need, and having, I think even bigger than that, giving yourself permission to pivot and change if you need to. I mean, it's just been so fun to watch your journey and all the things that you're creating. You're super talented. We'll put all the links to find Katie below. Thanks so much for spending some time with me, and I can't wait to see what you build in your business.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.